Master's programs before dental school, are they even worth it? How do you know if you should do one? How do you even pick the right one? We'll be covering those topics here in this video, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome to another One Mission DMD video. If this is your first time here, this channel was created for anyone interested in a career in dentistry, no matter what part of the journey you may be at. So if that's something you think you can benefit from, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video for future content. Also, PAT Crusher reached out to me and they asked if I was interested in giving any of the listeners here on my channel a giveaway for PAT Crusher. If you feel like you need extra practice with the PAT, stick around for the end of this video, so I'll explain how you can enter for this giveaway. So I'm gonna get straight into it. When it comes to the idea of a master's, there's certain situations where a student might want to consider doing that. And even before going into deciding to do a master's, you might want to consider doing a postbacc. So what even is a postbacc? So a postbacc, there's two ways you can go about it. One, you can go back to your undergrad after you graduate and just go in as a postbachelorate student to take upper level science classes like anatomy, genetics, human physiology, endocrinology, just classes that are considered upper level science classes that would increase your science GPA. The second way you can go about it is doing an official postbachelorate program. A lot of dental schools have these type of programs where it's geared for pre-dental, pre-health professionals. You take a program through some educational institution and you don't get a degree, but you get some type of standing with that institution that you completed a postbachelorate program with some type of classes. If you decided to do the postbacc on your own back at your undergrad, you have the ability to increase your science GPA and cumulative GPA at that university. So when you would apply to dental school, your GPA could be improved from the GPA that you graduated with in undergrad. So that's actually what I did. My GPA wasn't considered competitive after I graduated, so that's why I went back and I took some classes to improve that. And if that's something that you're feeling like can get you over the hump and be considered a competitive applicant, then that's great. So you probably won't even have to do a master's in that case. Now, what do I mean by competitive? I'm saying if you got a 3.5 and above, then you should be considered competitive. If you graduated from undergrad with a 3.3 or a 3.4, but after you took the postbacc classes, you took it to a 3.5 or a 3.6, then you should be good to go and you probably don't have to look into doing a master's, especially if you kill the DAT. Now, let's say you're in a situation where you're in the low threes, you're in a 3.1 or 3.3 range. And I'm saying after having done the postbacc, you're in that range. So if you do the postbacc and you take it to a 3.1, 3.3, that's definitely a GPA that you can potentially apply with if you really do well in the DAT. But it still might be worth your while to consider a master's, because there's a certain extent to the amount of classes you can take in undergrad as a postbachelorate student. And no matter how many you take, if you're at a certain point of your GPA, it just won't budge that much. So definitely take it above a 3, 3.3, but preferably 3.3 if that's the best you can do, and then do the master's. And the reason for that is because even if you do a master's and you kill it, but your GPA is very low, I'm talking 3, barely 3, then that can be a problem. So I would definitely recommend to do the master's after you improve the undergraduate GPA to the best of your ability. So I'm going to go over some of the top reasons for why somebody should consider the master's on top of these reasons that we just went over regarding the grades. If you majored in something in undergrad that was a non-science, then that might help you make your decision if you should do a master's or not. So I was a business major and I took all the pre-dental classes with it. So I was taking science classes and business classes, and I was just constantly juggling between the two. I felt like I needed an extra exposure to science classes in the higher level, and it helped me a great deal. I learned how to study effectively, and I learned how to manage my time. And I feel like even though I didn't have to complete the master's because I got into dental school before I finished it, it still helped me so much. That one semester of upper level science classes that I took was so like demanding, and it really prepared me for what to expect in dental school. So it can really help you in that case, especially if you're a non-science major in undergrad. Now, how do you pick the right program? So first things first, definitely only apply to the programs that have well-known statistics. Newer programs starting every year. And what I noticed when I applied for these master's programs was that only a few of them even had those statistics. I'd be applying and I got into them and I'd be like, okay, what are your stats for people that are pre-dental? And they'll be like, we don't have that. At the end of the day, I picked the masters that had the highest statistics, and the one that I went to was Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. When I asked them that question, they told me that their statistics for matriculation into dental school were above 80%. I promise you there's no other reason why I went there. There was some other options that I had to go for doing the masters. So at the end of the day, that was the program that I decided to go to because of that very reason. And you know, you'll find out after having looked into so many of these master's programs that most of them are geared for pre-medical students. And that's fine, because guess what? So many of the classes that dental school curriculums have are very similar to a lot of the classes that medical school curriculums have. Now, of course, the depth and the breadth of the information that we go over is a little less than what the medical students do, but if you kill a master's, and even if it's geared for pre-med students, it doesn't matter, because dental schools just want to see you excel in an upper level science program, which all those programs are. So another thing you want to look into for a potential master's programs is if they have a linkage with that dental school. So a lot of these programs have some type of clause in their acceptance letter saying that if you maintain a certain level of grades within the program, then you're guaranteed an interview at that dental school. Granted, it also comes in with like your undergraduate GPA in play and your DAT scores for being able to make that decision if they can grant you that invitation for an interview. But that's something to consider, because if you technically, you may not have to like apply per se to the program if they have that linkage agreement. Now, I would still advise applying even if you're doing that program and even if you get invited for the interview for meeting those criteria, because you definitely want to widen your options and guarantee that you get in. So that's something to think about for sure. When it comes to the idea of doing a master's, a lot of people ask, is doing an MPH or an MBA a good idea? I will say yes and no, but what I will say is that it depends where you're applying. Now, I know some schools are heavy on public health, and my school's an example of that. That's why I'm not gonna say 100% yes, 100% no. Every school's different. They have a different mission. They have a different goal. They have a different type of student demographics they want to invite into their school. So if you do an MPH, it won't help you in every school that you apply. That's just a fact. It's only gonna help you to a certain extent the schools that you apply to. Doing an MBA, I mean, that's something that I don't think somebody just typically is going to decide to do an MBA if they're knowing from the top, from the beginning, that they want to do dental school. Typically, it's someone who's been involved in the business field with like corporate jobs, having done an MBA, and then they decide, okay, let me do dental school. So I wouldn't advise going the MBA route. I would say MPH maybe, still not 100%, but try your best to stick to science-based master's program. And that's the end of this video. Hope you guys were able to take something away from it, and hopefully it can help you make a decision if doing a master's is for you or not. There's a few things you're gonna have to do to be entered in for this giveaway. First thing is you gotta be subscribed here to the channel at One Mission DMD. You gotta like this video. You gotta comment here in the bottom of the video that you're entering in for the PAT Crusher giveaway. Follow me on Instagram, and you have to follow PAT Crusher on Instagram. As long as you're doing those 4 things, you'll be entered in for the giveaway, and I'll be announcing the winner on Instagram and in my next video here on YouTube. Anyways, good luck to all you guys that are going to enter, and good luck to every single person that's about to take the DAT soon. If you want to continue seeing content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.